County. My name is Bryan Vish, and this is the WLEN Evening News. Let's get into it. The Lenawee Community Foundation has awarded over $400,000 in scholarships to more than 200 students across Lenawee County, recognizing the vital role of education in building a strong, supportive community. The foundation held a scholarship reception on June 13th to celebrate recipients and honor the donors who make these awards possible. Students and fund holders connected over shared stories and the impact of educational support. Brief remarks were shared by scholarship recipient Brody Stipe, donor Barb Eisman, and foundation president and CEO Brana Kale, who emphasized the awards represent opportunity and legacy, not just financial aid. One recipient, Thea Tello, received the Frederick Kinger Scholarship and expressed her honor and gratitude for the support. Scholarship funds through the foundation are often established in memory of loved ones or to reflect the community's values. These gifts enable students to pursue higher education while fostering meaningful connections to their community. To contribute to an existing scholarship or to create a new one, residents can contact the Lenawee Community Foundation at 517-263-4696 or email forlenawee at lenaweeecf.com. The foundation continues to support students, nonprofits, and initiatives that strengthen Lenawee County. To learn more, visit lenaweecf.com. Lenawee County will hold an active shooter drill on August 1st to simulate an emergency during a Board of Commissioners meeting. The full-scale exercise is scheduled for 2:30 p.m. at the Old Courthouse in Adrian. The training will reenact a live public meeting scenario with commissioners seated at their normal positions, with staff and employees acting as audience members. The goal is to prepare local agencies for high-risk threats in public buildings. Emergency Management Director Craig Tanis confirmed that the simulation will take place in the Commissioner's chambers and involved law enforcement, emergency responders, and county personnel. The exercise is part of a broader county-wide effort to enhance active shooter preparedness and interagency coordination. The event is closed to the public, but will be followed by a formal debrief and review at the next Homeland Security meeting on August 19th. Officials say the training is part of ongoing efforts to protect government facilities and staff. Additional preparedness drills are scheduled later this year. Lenawee County officials have requested nearly $11,000 in emergency response grants to fund hazmat training and drone live stream technology. The requests were submitted during the June 17th meeting of the Homeland Security Committee. Emergency Management Director Craig Tanis proposed using $5,000 from the FY24 State Homeland Security Program to support training for a hazardous materials team or purchase of equipment. The funds would enable the county to respond more quickly to specialized emergencies. A second request seeks $5,738 to renew CapWatch, a live streaming software used by the county's drone team for incident command. The funding would come from a combination of FY23 SHSP and LETPA grants, with remaining costs covered under FY24 allocations. The software improves real-time coordination during fires, chemical spills, and public safety threats. The state must approve all grant spending before funds are released. The drone software renewal would extend through August of 2026. If approved, the upgrades would enhance the county's emergency response capabilities and ensure the continued use of drone-based situational awareness tools during high-risk events. The Lenawee County Health Department confirmed this week it will remain open and continue providing essential public health services despite recent rumors of closure. According to the department, claims that the health department is shutting down or out of funding are false. Officials acknowledge some challenges related to state and federal grant funding, but emphasize that the department remains fully operational. One program, the Breast and Cervical Cancer Control Navigation Program, or BC3NP, will be paused beginning June 30th, 2025 due to funding uncertainty. New and follow-up appointments will be on hold until confirmation of continued grant support. Individuals currently receiving services will still receive assistance as needed. The department is working with the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services to minimize disruption. Other non-mandated services may face temporary pauses if funding challenges continue, but all mandated public health services will remain available. Updates and service information are available at lenaweehealthdepartment.org or by calling 517-264-5226. Lenawee County has officially begun the public review process to allocate more than $1.57 million in opioid settlement funds. On Wednesday, the Bridging the Gap subcommittee met to finalize the scoring criteria, meeting calendar, and review process for nearly 30 proposals submitted earlier this year. The funds, part of a nationwide settlement with pharmaceutical companies, are intended to support local initiatives for treatment, prevention, and recovery. Submissions include both one-year and multi-year funding requests, with several proposals requesting over $60,000. To manage the review process, the committee will hear 2 to 6 presentations per month, starting in July and ending in December. Each organization will be given 20 to 30 minutes, including time for questions and answers. Reviewers will use the standardized scoring sheet to rate proposals on criteria such as alignment with RFP, community need, sustainability, and measurable outcomes. According to Francine Zisk, Lenawee County Court Administrator and a lead staff member for the initiative, funding could begin arriving in 2026.
So depending upon the process, we hope to go through all the RFP proposals by the end of the year. Then the committee will meet January, February, March, and then go to the Board of Commissioners with the recommendations. So we're hoping mid-March, April, early 2026.
Officials emphasize that all scores will be recorded individually and entered into a transparent Excel-based ranking system, which will inform the final funding recommendations to the Lenawee County Board of Commissioners. To maintain fairness, members are required to review each proposal in advance and are expected to watch recordings of any presentations that they miss. The Community Needs Assessment, conducted locally and informed by county-specific data, will serve as a foundational tool throughout the process. More information, including the community data referenced in the review process, is available at lenawee.mi.us. As Lenawee County prepares to allocate more than $1.57 million in opioid settlement funds, members of the Bridging the Gap Committee are raising concerns about the decision-making framework guiding those allocations. While the county completed a comprehensive community needs assessment last year, some members say they have not seen a clear summary of the results or a ranked list of priority needs in order to help evaluate the nearly 30 proposals submitted for funding. Others echoed the concern, noting that without a formal master plan, it may be challenging to weigh proposals fairly or consistently. One official cautioned that committee members might be influenced by the quality of the presentation rather than its long-term impact or community relevance. Staff members acknowledged the concern and referred the committee to a detailed PowerPoint and supporting assessment materials available online, emphasizing that while the county's data provides a strong foundation, it may need to be revisited as new trends and community needs emerge. The discussion highlighted an ongoing challenge in the review process, striking a balance between insights and data-informed planning. Several committee members expressed interest in more explicit guidance on county-wide priorities, including areas such as treatment, access, youth education, housing, and maternal care to help shape the final funding recommendations. Presentations for funding proposals begin in July and are expected to continue through December. Recommendations are scheduled for early 2026. The Michigan Department of Education is warning schools across the state to update their testing software in preparation for the fall 2025 assessment season. Districts using the DRC Insight testing engine must install the updated version 16 of the secure browser by August 1st. The change affects all users, but especially those administering state assessments on Chromebooks, where the update is not automatic. Schools using Windows and Linux will begin receiving automatic update prompts starting June 27th, allowing users to upgrade without administrative rights. However, Chromebook must manually uninstall the old app and install the new progressive web app. Mac OS devices will continue to require manual updates. Device platforms and system requirements otherwise remain unchanged. A technology readiness webinar is scheduled for August 6th at 10 a.m. via Microsoft Teams. The training will offer guidance on software installation and test readiness for 2025-26 school year. School technology coordinators are encouraged to share the update notice with staff and complete all software changes before students begin fall assessments. More information is available on the DRC Insight portal at mi.drcdirect.com or through the Office of Educational Assessment and Accountability at the Michigan Department of Education. The Michigan Department of Education is also inviting school staff across the state to participate in surveys designed to improve the future of standardized testing in Michigan. Educators who helped administer the Spring 2025 MSTEP or My Access assessments are encouraged to complete short surveys reflecting on their experience. The department's Office of Educational Assessment and Accountability, or OEAA, launched the effort to gather feedback directly from the frontline staff. The surveys cover training quality, testing procedures, support resources, and logistical challenges. Officials say the responses will help inform updates to testing policy and practice for upcoming school years. Each survey takes approximately 10 to 15 minutes to complete. The deadline to submit responses is June 27th. The OEAA encourages districts to share the surveys with any staff involved in testing. Feedback collected will directly influence future planning, resource development, and student testing experiences. For more information, visit michigan.gov/OEAA or contact the OEAA by email at mde-oeaa@michigan.gov. And finally tonight, the Republican Cannabis Caucus of Michigan is opposing 2 new bills that would allow police to collect saliva samples from drivers during traffic stops to test for marijuana impairment. The Government Operations Committee recently approved the bills and are now under review by the Rules Committee. Caucus leaders say they were not given a chance to testify due to time constraints and are now speaking publicly. The caucus cites a Michigan pilot program where saliva tests were found to be unreliable. Out of 934 positive tests, 222 were later disproven by blood tests. A state report also concluded that Michigan should not set a THC threshold for impairment and should instead rely on field sobriety tests. Caucus Chair George Brico called the bills corporate welfare for drug testing companies and warned they could lead to DNA profiling under the guise of traffic enforcement. The Republican Cannabis Caucus is encouraging residents to sign a petition and contact lawmakers to prevent bills from reaching the full legislature. And that's it for the WLEN Evening News. I'll see you tomorrow, Lenawee.